Welcome to Episode 6 of On-Site Notes. I'm Willem Molesworth, the Director of Art in Hong Kong.
On-Site Notes!
Today, we will be talking about the gallery's represented Hong Kong-based artist, Andrew Luk, or as I like to call him, 伟大的艺术家陆口明. Andrew Luk was born in 1988 and holds 2 degrees, one in history from Suffolk University and one in fine art from the New England School of Art and Design. His work often investigates layered and multifaceted historical discourse through material and subject, while also engaging in philosophy, both new and old, as well as science fiction, architecture, the character of humanity, and man's relationship with nature. His work spans across installation, sculpture, dance, video game mods, moving images, and more. Luk is often inspired by science fiction and references it throughout his work, visually, conceptually, and materially. Jettison Pod Interior Cutaway is an installation that was first displayed in the Power Station of Art in Shanghai in 2018, and is Luk's rendering of a dual-use spacecraft cockpit and toilet, loosely based on Philip K. Dick's 1965 novel, Dr. Blood Money. The book tells the story of a single human being who escapes from Earth just before a nuclear holocaust, but is subsequently trapped in an orbiting satellite. After the bombs go off, as the only one with a radio transmitter, he becomes the sole purveyor of knowledge and culture, a symbol of human achievement before the war from which survivors can rebuild. Stimulated by the novel's conceptual underpinnings, Luk's artwork here integrates various organic materials and remnants of human technology to craft a contradictory tragedy of both hope and loneliness. One of Luk's most iconic bodies of work addresses man's relationship with nature, while simultaneously unpacking several other ideas too. In the Horizon Scan series, Luk uses homemade napalm to torch and char painted canvas, harnessing natural forces, fire, and time to transform fabric and pigment into imagined aerial landscapes that look as if they were made of mineral and stone. Using 2 rows of alternating LED lights, Luk reveals nuances and subtleties in the mutable patterns of these works, referencing the importance and role of time in shaping space, stories, and perspectives. Additionally, the violent history and nature of the material within the work reflects upon the real-world landscapes which we live amongst, which, despite their beauty, are often formed by stories of conflict and violence. This idea was first explored in his Oxidization Immolation series, in fact, which also made use of homemade napalm. An early influence on both bodies of work was the French philosopher Paul Virilio, whose writings explored the role of speed, power, violence, and technology in architecture, the arts, cities, and warfare. One of the best examples of Luk's practice is Haunted Salvaged. The work was originally slated to be displayed at Art Basel, Hong Kong in 2020. It is a giant suspended mobile of orb-like objects that hang above a sea of expanding spray foam and totemic towers. The totems are built from cement and also feature spray foam, as well as cast polystyrene fungi and concrete artifacts of recently antiquated devices, such as Walkmans and Game Boys. The ideas that comprise these totems can also be found in Luk's earlier works, like Rarefied Fossil Heap and The Fragility of Things Built from Rocks. Luk's use of spray foam within these objects exemplifies one of his core beliefs, that the dichotomy between man versus nature is Spray foam is an artificial, chemically engineered, man-made byproduct. However, it acts organically with its own natural forces that, once activated, cannot be controlled. Embracing the innate organic aesthetic of the material while highlighting its inorganic origin, Luk suggests man is nature, and everything we produce therefore belongs to nature as well. Haunted Salvage double downs on this concept and expands its premise. At its core, the mobile can be understood as a floating, fictitious representation of an urban landscape, one that is comprised entirely of man-made environmental contaminants that have been manipulated to appear organic in form. The orbs simultaneously look like coral reefs, intestines, raw chunks of meat, beehives, ant mounds, planets, the floating city from Studio Ghibli's Castle in the Sky, the flying rocks in James Cameron's Avatar, and dense city apartment buildings. The installation binds the natural and the man-made together and approaches the concept that the entities and forces of humanity, like culture and technology, are also inherently biological. They exert effects, as well as create byproducts. They evolve, and they will die. When I see the installation, I see civilization in a futuristic, past-present wasteland. The breadth and depth of Andrew Luk's work is remarkable, and a short video like this cannot do it justice. Luckily, his work is frequently on display across the world in museums, galleries, and various art institutions. We will feature his work in our upcoming presentation at Hong Kong Spotlight by Art Basel, and I encourage you to keep your eyes peeled for more artwork by this exciting young artist. Thanks for tuning in, and until next time.
On-site notes!